Welcome back. Welcome back. Once again, this is Rod Powell, and this is the You Should Get a License podcast edition. But this is a very, very special edition. As you know, insurance is a global industry in the financial sector of business. And tonight we have, or today, wherever you're listening from, my guest is an international sales leader in the insurance space. Based in Manila, Philippines. He is a $1 million roundtable producer. This means that he has produced over $1 million in premium. And actually, he corrected me on this. It was over 2 million, I think $2.27 million to be exact. I mean, just a phenomenal individual, a great sales leader himself. And he's award-winning. He's a top producer. He's pretty much, done a ton of things in his insurance career thus far, and still has a lot more to go. He's chiming in, from his restaurant, which we'll talk about as well, that he owns. And I want to welcome to the You Should Get a License podcast, Mr. Francis Sarmiento. Francis, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much, Rod.
Awesome, man. Hey, look. Thank you for being here. Like I said, really excited about our conversation because, we've spoken with guests who are based in the U.S. and you're our first international guest. And I'm excited to learn, how the insurance industry and that career track works, in the Philippines where you are. So, for this platform, we're introducing the opportunity or maybe sharing it with someone who is a newer agent to the business. And there's so many different segmentations. But can you tell me a little bit about what your specialty is in the insurance space? Like, what is your area of focus on a day-to-day basis?
Well, first off, Rod, thank you so much for this opportunity. It really is a privilege. Regarding your question, with how I do business, most of my clients really are people who wants to get insured and start their investment at the same time. So most of my clients actually owns a VUL policy, a variable unit linked policy, and it attracts more Filipinos to have that kind of policy as opposed to just pure life insurance, because we have this stigma that about insurance, that if you get an insurance policy, you're only preparing to have for your kids, for your next of kin to receive the money. And most people here, as far as I know, don't want that because they want to enjoy what they work hard for. So that's the mindset. So when VUL came in and it was introduced by my company, ProLife UK here in the Philippines, more people actually got more interested in getting a life insurance policy because the thinking is that they're getting insured and they're preparing for their retirement, for whatever it is in the future at the same time. So yeah, that most of my clients owns a VUL. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to correct you with regards to the MDRT. It's 2.2 Philippine peso here in the Philippines.
Okay, all right. Okay, yeah. Yes. So would that translate to about $1 million?
Yes, I would think so.
Okay,
all right. 50, yeah.
It's in the millions. Yes.
Yes.
Look, however you shave it, you've written a lot of life insurance, a lot of premium.
I would want to collect more than $2.2 million if we convert it, but no, I'm not there yet. Yeah.
Gotcha. No, awesome, man. No, thank you for that correction. So you can look up, the pesos, and you can kind of see what the translation is. But if you look at all of his listings of accomplishments, you'll know that, hey, this man has sold a lot of insurance, But look, you mentioned, the VUL, the variable, universal life. For those who are listening that really don't understand what that is, because that's a very unique positioning, in marketing of life insurance to say, hey, let's focus on the investments, more. We're not just preparing for the death, but also, for those times where you may stop working, you may need to pull some funds. Can you give give us some idea on what the VUL really is, like what that means?
The way I explain it to my customers, so that it's better for them to understand, it's basically life insurance. So the core is still life insurance, but it just comes with mutual funds at the same time. So it's the two combined. So it's basically your packaging life insurance and mutual fund in one product. So yeah, that is basically it. And yeah, so you're paying for your premium, and then eventually there is an option for some products that you can stop paying your premiums, and then the investment part will pay for the insurance charges if there is enough investment funds on the policy. So yes, as opposed to just paying for a premium for a traditional 100% life insurance, wherein if you stop paying the insurance, then you're not insured anymore. So for most of my clients, it's actually more attractive to them as well, because they worry less about their policy getting lapsed. So
yes,
so yeah. Mm-hmm.
So basically, you're paying the premiums, and in those premiums, you have your life insurance that's there as well, but you also have a cash value portion of that's being paid alongside just the cost of insurance, and that portion is in the mutual funds. It's gaining the interest, is being invested, and if something were to happen with just that life insurance portion, the cash value that's been invested can actually help pay for those premiums on the life side as well, right?
That's right. Yes. So the investment like part.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, the investment part gets invested in stocks or bonds or a combination of both. Yeah.
So it's kind of like having two products, right? Because you have life insurance, but you also have an investment, portfolio that's kind of combined with that. So there's two portions.
That's correct. Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So I want to dig into that. I want to learn how you actually got into that, a little bit of your background, but people get into this business, for a lot of different reasons, from many different backgrounds and experiences. Here's what I want to know, Francis. I want you to take me back all the way to like 9-year-old, 10-year-old Francis Sarmiento. I want you to tell me, what did you dream of being when you became an adult?
Right. So I actually lived in all right, that's far back. Okay. So I lived in I live in an island here in the Philippines, up north. I live in an island in the middle of Cagayan River, we call it. And we used to not have an electricity there. So my entire elementary life, I actually did not have an electricity. I didn't get to watch TV. But my family are already living in Manila. But I lived in the province. So every time I would go to Manila for vacation after school years, I would get to watch TV, and I always admired, flying and going out to outer space. So my first dream then was to become an astronaut. So it's a very big dream. And then as I grow older, I come to realize how hard and impossible it was for me. So then it degraded to becoming a pilot. And then my mom told me when I was in high school going to college that the expense of enrolling to an aviation school is also still very expensive. So then during my time, the most popular job and a course is nursing. So she asked me to just become a nurse and go to the US, and when you become a nurse, we will become rich. Basically, that's the
Oh,
story. Yeah.
okay.
So I don't know. I'm not sure if you have a lot of nurse friends, Filipino nurse friends there,
My
but there
mother
are a lot of
was a nurse.
Filipino nurses there. I'm sorry, Rod.
No, I was just saying my mother was a nurse, for
Oh, oh
30
wow.
years. Yeah.
Okay. So
But
yeah,
if I see any
that's
Filipinos nurses, if I see any, you're saying that if I see Filipino nurses, they probably got the same story that you got. Go become a
yes.
nurse and then you'll become rich.
Yes, most probably, yeah. So yeah, and but what we didn't know is that because in when I graduated back in 2009, there are a lot of nurses, like more than half of universities. Most universities in the Philippines would just have nursing enrollees, nursing student enrollees. So that's how big it was. So the hospitals here, they took advantage of that. And so when we would want to work as a nurse, because I can't go to the US or any other country as a nurse immediately, I have to have experience, right?
Mhm.
So the hospitals here took advantage of that. So in order for us to gain experience, we actually need to pay them to work. So yes, I
Wow.
know it's crazy. That's how I reacted. Your face, that's how I was. So when I told my mom that, no, she was like, no, I'm not giving you any more money. So I took a different route instead. So like most nurses, I became a call center agent instead. So that I could start earning. So here in the Philippines, compared to other industries, call center agents would actually have a higher starting rate in terms of salary. Yeah, so that's and that actually looking back, that's actually the reason why I'm a life insurance agent now, because when I became a call center agent, I started receiving decent amount of money, and so I wanted to have a car, so I bought a car. So when I computed for the monthly amortization, the salary for the job as a call center agent would actually be enough to pay for the monthly amortization of the car, but I did not compute for the gas, for the maintenance. And so I didn't know that, no one told me that that I had to replace the tire at some point. So yeah, the salary was enough, but then I wasn't eating at any fast food anymore because everything was going to the car. So at 2 years after paying for the car, I can no longer pay for it, basically. So I posted something on Facebook that I need an extra source of income because the bank is taking the car, basically. And then that's when someone saw my post that I wanted an extra source of income. And then he said something along the lines of, I joined something new and you might be interested as well. So I joined ProLife UK. And when I heard that, at first I thought it was a multi-level marketing industry. It was a networking industry because it's also very popular here, networking companies. So, but when I went to the seminar, to the training, that's when I learned ProLife UK is a life insurance company. So that's actually the first time I heard of life insurance and how it is here in the Philippines, and I got interested with how you earn as a life insurance agent. So I continued with the process.